Hey guys, KinoFlex here, back with another quick review. Today I'll be sharing my thoughts on the latest live-action Disney film to come out, which is the Lilo and Stitch 2025 remake. My format for this review is going to be the same as my live-action Snow White review, where instead of giving a plot synopsis since I assume most people have already seen the original, I'm going to talk about the major changes made in this version and why they mostly don't work. And obviously there's going to be spoilers, but here's a quick one. It sucks! As I pointed out in my Snow White review, something you can always count on with these live action remakes is that they go out of their way to make unnecessary changes to the story to either pander or try to fix something that doesn't need to be fixed. The first notable change people were made aware of in the trailers was how Pleakley's human disguise is as a guy instead of a woman, which I think has to do with Disney being afraid of being accused that they were pushing drag queens onto kids. And if that's the case, it's pretty dumb, because I never got that read from the original at all. But at the same time, it's not that big of a change all things considered. Especially when at some points he ends up wearing kinda androgynous clothing that women would wear anyways, but the changes get much worse. Once the movie approached its release date, it was revealed that they removed the main villain, Captain Gontu, from the remake.
I am retiring you, Captain Gantu.
Which I don't understand at all because Gontu is the driving factor behind both Stitch's human family and alien family working together to save Lilo because he's a bigger threat and too cruel to be reasoned with. So who is the main villain instead? It's Jumba. That's right. Instead of portraying him as a misunderstood mad scientist, he's just evil and doesn't get redeemed in the end. He also doesn't have his eccentric accent that he's known for, as he's voiced by Zach Galifianakis, who gives a very bland and uninspired performance. They also made the social worker Cobra Bubbles into a CIA agent to give him more screen time, which completely ruins the joke of his appearance not matching his profession. David is the bland, awkward love interest who could have been written out of the movie because he's just there. And this is the second guy they got to play him because the original actor was caught saying the N-word. But the biggest change I have a problem with is the ending, because they completely ruined Lilo and Nani's relationship with each other. Instead of Nani showing Bubbles how capable she is of taking care of her little sister, she gives her up so that David and a neighbor lady who wasn't in the original can raise her so that she can go to college in California. She's just completely selfish and unlikable throughout the entire movie. And for some reason, they created an entirely new character who just exists to do everything remotely positive Nani did for Lilo in the original. Her inclusion also completely breaks the movie, because if the solution all along was for Lilo to live with the neighbor lady, why did they not do that at the very beginning? I was mostly ambivalent towards the film, but the ending just ruined my entire view of the movie because it just takes a massive dump on the message of the original, which is having your family stick together through thick and thin. Instead of having the resolution be that there isn't one specific fixed way of having a family, this live-action remake throws that idea away in favor of taking the easy way out. Oh, your family's holding you back? Just give them up. The only positives I can think of is that the interactions between Lilo and Stitch were cute, but the remake as a whole just feels like a completely watered down version of the original. In other words, no different from any other live action Disney remake slop. Instead of wasting money to see this in a theater, go watch the original. I watched it the other day before seeing the remake, and it still holds up. If you thought that this review was too brief, then I apologize, but that really just goes to show how all these remakes consistently suffer from the same problems over and over again of just being soulless sanitized versions of much better movies. But those are just my thoughts, and if you have your own, be sure to flex them off in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.